Welcome to aerodynamics and flight theory. Um, Today, the subject that I want to cover is aerodynamic forces on an airplane in flight. But I'm gonna have to do it in series, like part one, part two, part three. I don't know how many parts I'm going to have, because I don't want to try to cover such a delicate subject in one video, and I don't want to bore you with a long video. So I'm going to start today with aerodynamic forces on an airplane in flight, part one. So let's see. Let's go. Let's go at it. Okay. Aerodynamic forces. Most of the aerodynamics students and pilot students, they know of three. They know of at least the lift vector, which is perpendicular to the relative wind, and also the drag vector, which is parallel to the relative wind, and then drawing the drag vector from the tip of the lift vector, and then drawing another line from the root of the lift vector to the tip of the drag vector. Then you get the resultant vector, which is the aerodynamic force generated by those two forces on the plane on the aircraft in flight. But this subject is deeper than just that. What about the sources of those reactions? You know, those vector reactions. You know, what are the sources? Where does that relationship come from? Well, we're going to, you and I, we're going to have several conversations, informal conversations about this subject. This is a very important subject, a very important topic in aerodynamics. So let's consider. Okay, let's say we have two solid objects, and let's say, okay, your left hand and right hand, okay, then if you can create some sort of mechanical process between your hands. Your right hand can apply a force to your left hand and pushes it. That's it. Apply some pressure on it. That is the mechanical interaction between two solid forces. This is easy to describe. This is easy to understand, easy to describe, because you're talking about two solid objects. You know, you can the mechanical force can be transmitted from one object to the other, or can be applied from one object to the other. That's easy to understand, easy to see, easy to demonstrate. Because it is about one point, okay, just one point of contact, just like this, okay, one point of contact, easy to understand, okay. But if it is now, if the mechanical force now we are talking about is between a solid object that is immersed into a fluid such as air or water, then things become more difficult to comprehend, more difficult to understand. Things become more complicated because now we are looking at the interaction between a solid and a fluid. A solid, like an aircraft, like an airplane, that is immersed into the air. The air is a fluid. So there's a big difference here between the interaction of a solid immersed into a fluid. There's a big difference between that and the mechanical process, okay, between two solid objects, two solid bodies. Okay, so now when a solid body is immersed into a fluid, okay, remember now we're having a conversation, okay? Think about it. Now you have an aircraft, an airplane that is immersed into the air, or maybe a boat that is a ship that is in, that is moving through water. So remember, for the two solid bodies, there was only one point of contact. Okay, but now you have the whole body, of the solid, the whole body of the airplane in the air. So what is the point of contact here? Well, the point of contact is actually points of contact, because the water now, the air now, is in physical contact with the entire body of the airplane, of the solid, of the object. Okay, so, and another thing is that the air, the fluid, is capable of changing its shape, which will make matters more complicated. So you can see right here, you can see why that I will not be able to cover the subject in just one video. So so we can, since we know that the fluid is in contact with all the points in the of the solid body. So the pressure that the fluid is transmitting, is applying to the airplane, to the body of the airplane, or whatever object. That pressure, okay, is applied to multiple points, multiple sections of the airplane, of the body. So needless to say, there's going to be differences in pressures, because the pressure is not going to be the same, at all the points on the body of the aircraft, of the plane. So, but there's pressure. So now, as you can see, just like I told you, there's variation of pressure now, right there, because we're dealing with multiple points. Okay, so now something that, when we talk about pressure on an object, pressure, okay, just pressure. We're talking about pressure. We are talking about pressure by the air applied to the transmitted, or applied to the airplane. But talking about pressure is really halfway of the job, because pressure is pressure. Because pressure is not a vector. Pressure by itself, pressure in itself is not a vector. Pressure by itself, pressure in itself is a scalar quantity. And you know what a scalar quantity is, but let me remind you. A scalar quantity is a quantity that has only size or magnitude. It does not have direction. Speed, for example, is a scalar quantity. Now, when speed has direction, it becomes a vector. Okay, and it is not speed anymore because now it is a vector, so it has velocity. Okay, speed by itself is a scalar quantity, but speed with direction is a vector. Okay, that's velocity. So it is similar to what exists between pressure, and I have not mentioned it yet, pressure force. Okay, you have pressure, which is a scalar quantity. Pressure, all it has is size or magnitude. Size or magnitude, no direction. But the force that the pressure applies transmits to the solid body, to the airplane, the force, which is pressure force, that's a vector. Okay, that's a vector because now there's a push, there's a force, that's a vector. It has both magnitude or size and direction. Okay, so and I hope you understand the difference between between the two. Pressure, scalar quantity, pressure force, a vector. Okay, pressure force has velocity. Okay. By the way, a scalar quantity, the size, the magnitude of the pressure, which is a scalar quantity, the size, the magnitude of the scalar, well, let me say scalar pressure. Scalar pressure is functions, okay, according to the momentum of the molecules of the air. You know, those molecules of the air that are moving at a fast speed, colliding with each other, all that stuff, and creating, you know, that pressure. Okay, that depending on the speed and on the collisions of the molecules in the air, in the fluid. Air is a fluid, so the magnitude of the air can be um, you know, high, medium, low, it depends. But once again, the force that the pressure puts on the body, on the airplane, the pressure force is a vector. Okay, but you might want to know how, in which direction the pressure force goes to the solid body. In which direction? Okay, the pressure force. Okay, the pressure force that is applied, okay, by the air, or transmitted by the air to the multiple points of the on the body of the solid object or the airplane. This is pressure. This is pressure, right? Pressure force. Okay, that the direction of that force is perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular. That's the direction of the pressure force onto the body of the airplane, which is the normal direction of that type of aerodynamic force. So, as you can see, there are lots of pressure points around the object, which is immersed into the fluid, into the air or water, and so we can conclude that the aerodynamic pressure acting on the object, okay, is, since you have so many pressure points, so we can say the main subject I'm talking about, the aerodynamic force, okay, that is applied or transmitted to the solid body, okay, is the resultant of all the pressures around the immersed body, multiplied by the area around the same body. So you can consider an airplane as the body. Okay, so this is part one. That's part one of aerodynamic forces on an airplane in flight. There's a lot to cover. So until part 2, have a good day.